Hi, Assalamualaikum. Through this video, my team and I will introduce you to Skechers USA. Skechers was founded in 1992 by Robert Greenspan. Skechers is one of the biggest footwear company in this world, which has had a lot of customers and lovers. But the main question is, how Skechers manage their marketing to become a big company like now? So let's talk about it.
There are three basic economic concepts. When the resources available in a country are limited but human wants are unlimited, this is called as scarcity. There are infinite human needs. There are literally insufficient goods and services to fulfill their desires. As a company that produces both sports shoes and sandals, Skechers face lack of resources such as raw materials, which is midsole needed to produce the sandals. Due to pandemic COVID-19, there is restriction movement order (RMO), so workers are not allowed to go to the work. Hence, they face difficulty in getting most of the raw materials needed to produce the product, which is sandals. This will lead to the decrease of the production to be produced. Due to that scarcity, company definitely must make a choice. Skechers must make the best choice possible after considering the available alternative. Skechers has chosen to produce sports shoes instead of sandals because of the scarcity of the midsole for sandals. Skechers believe the consumer are more intense to buy sports shoes rather than sandals because they still can wear sports shoes in their house. This is because even when RMO, they still need to keep fit and healthy. From that, consumer will still demand for sports shoes even during this kind of situation. Opportunity cost is a foregone cost of not choosing other best alternative. In other words, the second best product and its benefits are the opportunity cost which is given up, making the best choice during RMO. Skechers now focusing to produce sports shoes during this kind of situation. Thus, the opportunity cost that Skechers are facing is sandals.
In this part of this video, I will talk about basic economic problems that can be divided into four, which is what to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce, and lastly, how to produce. So, the first economic problem is what to produce occurs because of the scarcity of resources. Decisions on what to produce are basically focused on customers' needs. The scarce resources must be effectively used by the customers to meet their limitless demand. Skechers buyers came from different groups of ages, means that this company need to produce shoes that suits each of the group. For example, for elderly, Skechers decided to produce shoes that help with back health, while for the kids, it's an easy-to-wear shoes. The characteristics of each shoes produced are highly demanded from the society in terms of choosing the best footwear. Therefore, the company did not have to face a huge losses of wastage because the product they produce is already meet their customers' demand. Next, the problem is how much to produce. Similar as the previous problems, how much to produce also focus on demand of the customer, and it also linked to a wise and effectively use of resources. To avoid any loss and wastage, Skechers only produce shoes in an adequate amount by comparing their previous year's sales. If the sale was high, they will increase their production as demand for their product increase. Moving on to the next problem, which is for whom to produce. This type of problem refers to who should their goods be produced for, which can be settled depending on the incomes and purchasing power of the customers. Skechers target different customers in society, including men, women, young boys, and young girls. But Skechers tend to make young girls as their top priority, as many of their customers coming from that group of ages. Last but not least, how to produce related to what types of methods that will be used in production process, either capital intensive or labor intensive. Safe to say that Skechers production method is more on labor intensive, as process of making shoes require a lot of detail that can only be done by hand. The detail including cutting the fabrics and sewing the shoes need to be perfect, especially in producing leather shoes with the help of professional and expert job, because the cost of the leather are really high. that will become a huge loss to the company and can lead to wastage if the resources are not utilized well.
Elasticity of demand and supply. Price elasticity of demand measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded for a particular good with respect to change in the prices. Skechers may have crises in the first 3 months during the pandemic COVID-19, but after it happened, they start giving a discount. When they give a discount, a lot of people come to buy their shoes. This shows the buyer is very responsive with the change in the price. That discount brings buyer to buy the product even in the lower measure of discount. Determination of price elasticity of demand. Nature of good or luxury good. For luxury good, small change in the price could lead to a large change in the quantity demanded. Skechers, a branded shoe market, did not have counterfeit good, which is one of the reasons people will buy the shoes even though it is quite expensive. So, even the price is slightly going down, more and more people are still willing to buy it. That is why the demand curve for luxury good is elastic. And the second one is availability of substitute. Although Skechers have no counterfeit good yet, it still have many substitutes. There are a lot of other branded shoes which is cheaper than Skechers. However, if there is an increase in the substitute price, Skechers will get more customers since they sell cheaper of the same product. In the end, the demand curve will be elastic due to many availability of substitute.
Income elasticity of demand measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded for a particular good with respect to the changes in income of the consumer. Consumers are being more cautious in spending their money, especially during this pandemic COVID-19. However, it is not a barrier for consumers to buy luxury goods. In fact, they prefer to shop because at this time the community do not have to pay taxes. These luxurious goods normally will be purchased only when the consumer income increases. If income increases, the quantity demand increases in larger amount compared to the increase in income. Hence, this leads to an elastic income elasticity. Cross-elasticity of demand measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded for a particular good with respect to the change in the price of another good. During this pandemic COVID-19, people are used to search for things that are cheaper. They will search and compare the prices of substitute shoes in order to get a cheaper one. For example, Nike and Skechers shoes are substitutes. If the price of Nike shoes increase, the demand for Skechers shoes will increase. This is because people will reduce the consumption of Nike shoes as the price is higher and will change into Skechers shoes, which is cheaper. An increase in the price of goods leads to an increase in quantity demanded for another goods. Price elasticity of supply measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity supplied for a particular good with respect to a change in the price. Seller is very responsive with the change in price. When there is a slight increase in price, seller will sell more of the product because their product is easily produced. Skechers promote their product by implemented advertising strategies to get more customers and increase more quantity supply in the future. The percentage in price is less than percentage change in quantity supply. A change in the price of a good causes the bigger percentage change in the quantity supply. Hence, this leads to an elastic supply curve. Determinants of price elasticity of supply. First, availability of inventory. If inventories can be kept without loss of quality and at low cost, the supply curve will be more elastic. Skechers sold shoes so they can keep the stock. They usually have many inventories at their store and logistics. Second, level of technology. Skechers are using the latest technology. They always keep producing their shoes. Skechers' level of technologies are quite high due to type of products, just to reach consumers' incredible satisfaction.
Market equilibrium is a situation whereby quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. There will be no tendency for the price and quantity to change. In other words, it is a situation when buyers are willing to purchase goods and services and sellers are willing to sell the same goods and services at a given price. The equilibrium price and quantity is determined by the intersection of the demand and supply curves. However, there are two conditions can cause problems arise when the market equilibrium is not performed. It is called shortage and surpluses. Shortage or excess demand is a condition whereby quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. These problems occurs because the price is situated below the equilibrium price. For example, when price of Skechers shoes is 150 ringgit, the quantity demanded is 3,000 units while quantity supplied is 1,500 units. Thus, there is a shortage of 1,500 units. Surplus occurs when quantity demanded is less than quantity supplied. This problem arises when the price is above the equilibrium price. For instance, at 380 ringgit, quantity demand is 1,200 units, while quantity supplied is 2,000 units. This leads to a surplus of 800 units. When price is located above the equilibrium price, there will be a downward pressure for the price to reduce towards the equilibrium positions. Government interventions. The government interventions include maximum price, minimum price, imposition of taxes, and subsidies. Skechers produce luxury goods, so they won't be involved in price control and subsidies are not given. Skechers need to bear two kinds of tax. It is direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is the income tax, which is a type of tax that governments impose on income generated by businesses and individuals within their jurisdiction. So, Skechers need to be fully responsible in paying the income tax since it cannot be shifted to other people. Before pandemic COVID-19, Skechers do apply GST and SST to the customers seek government interventions. But now, they are not charging any taxes to customers due to unstable economic we are facing. Nevertheless, if there is no COVID-19 or if the pandemic will be stable any sooner, Skechers company might need to apply tax in their products again and customer will also face tax burden. As you can see, this is the graph of the tax burden in Skechers market. The question is, who burden more tax? In terms of selling luxury goods, Skechers has shifted the tax burden to consumers amounting to 7 ringgit per pair of footwear. Meanwhile, Skechers, the producer, burden tax for 15 ringgit. This means Skechers are bearing more tax burden.